Dovizioso's final warning before the slaughter. Andrea Dovizioso saw the future. He's been in the trenches, face to face with the beast. And now, as Marc Marquez slices through the 2025 MotoGP grid like a warlord with a vendetta, Dovi breaks silence. What follows isn't an opinion, it's a damn obituary for anyone dreaming of a title this year. Welcome to the era of blood-red supremacy. The air didn't just crackle, it suffocated with tension. You could feel it in the silence that followed Andrea Dovizioso's words. The paddock might have shrugged it off, fans might have reposted it for drama, but real ones, the ones who watched Marquez rip through legends, they knew. This wasn't some hot take. This was a eulogy written by a man who once stood his ground at the gates of hell, face to face with the demon in number 93. See, Dovi ain't a loudmouth. He doesn't throw shade unless the sky's already burning. When he talks, it means something. And what he said this time? That wasn't analysis, it was prophecy. Marc Marquez is not just back, he's riding the Ducati now. Let that sink in. The very weapon Dovi spent years sharpening, Marquez has turned it into an executioner's blade. Let's rewind the clock and remind every soul breathing in that paddock what this really means. 2017-2019, the era of precision versus chaos. Dovizioso versus Marquez was no rivalry, it was war. Pure, beautiful war. No politics, no PR fluff, just two psychopaths dancing on the edge of physics, riding missiles designed to kill. One man played it like chess. The other? Like Russian roulette with a smile. Dovi was the tactician, the late-breaking sniper, the surgeon. He took that raw, brawling Desmosedici and tamed it like a monk in fire. It was a beast, fast in a straight line but stubborn in corners, like trying to drift a freight train. Dovi didn't care. He made it work. Then there was Marquez, the wild child, the outlaw who rewrote every page of the riding manual and set fire to the rest. The Honda RC213V wasn't perfect. It was twitchy, it punished errors. But in Marquez's hands, it was a goddamn lightsaber. He didn't ride it, he possessed it. Where Dovi played the long game, Marquez just showed up with a chainsaw and rewrote the script. Elbow down, eyes wide, throwing that bike into corners like it owed him money. Every time the Ducati stretched its legs on the straight, you could already feel Marc sharpening his fangs for the corner. That 10 kilometers per hour gap? Useless. Marquez erased that in half a turn with a slide, a save, and a flick of violence. Even that straight gaps get shrinked within corners with Marc Marquez corner speed. That quote isn't romantic, it's haunted. Dovi's saying that even when you think you've outrun the devil, he's already breathing on your neck inside the next apex. They fought. Qatar, Austria, Buriram. The kinds of races that stop your heartbeat. Dovi won some, true, but those were wars of attrition. He had to bleed for every 10th. Meanwhile, Marquez was out there doing backflips on the laws of reality. The stats? Brutal. 2017, 6 wins each. Marquez takes the title by 37 points. 2018, Marquez 9 wins, Dovi 4, gap 76 points. 2019, Slaughterhouse, Marquez 12 wins, Dovi 2, 151 points. By then, Marquez wasn't racing people anymore. He was racing history. Everyone else was just cannon fodder. And yet, despite the beatings, Dovi stood tall. He understood the beast better than anyone. That's why when he says something today, the world listens. 2025, the Red War begins. Marquez ditched Honda, left behind a king's ransom, dropped Red Bull and Samsung like old shoes. Why? Because he was tired of dragging dead weight. He didn't just want to win again. He wanted vengeance. He wanted dominance. And Ducati gave him the sword. When Marc Marquez said, "They are not faster than me. I am the fastest," after that tired Sachsenring 2023, that was not anger. That was pure personal hurt. Honda failed there. This ain't just a new chapter. It's a total rewrite of the book. You put the OG gangster of MotoGP on the most powerful machine on the grid, you've basically handed a loaded gun to a man who already knew how to kill with a rock. 12 rounds in. Here's what the scoreboard says. 8 Grand Prix wins, 11 sprint wins, 381 points from 444, 240 of 300 in GP points alone, 120 points clear of Alex Marquez, 168 points ahead of Pecco Bagnaia. This is violence in slow motion. This is watching a lion dropped into a zoo of poodles. Nobody's stopping him. Not now, not later. Gigi Dall'Igna said it best. Now I understand why we couldn't beat him on the Honda. Yeah, Gigi, now you get it. Because now he's on your machine. That red Desmo Sedici? It ain't just fast, it's weaponized. And Marc's riding it like it's been in his blood since birth. The evolution of the killer Dovi isn't blind, he sees it clear. Today, Marquez isn't the same as before. He still has trouble holding back, but he's more aware, he manages himself better, and that makes the difference. Translation, the wild dog learned to stalk. The madman now calculates before cutting your throat. Before, Marquez would dive bomb from Mars just to try something. Now, he waits, he watches, then strikes, and when he does, it's already over. That's the part nobody's ready for. Old Marquez won races he had no business winning. Crazy saves, suicide moves, elbows dancing with death, but it cost him. Mistakes, crashes, surgeries. This new version? Smarter, still fast, still psychotic. But now there's rhythm to the madness. That's scarier than chaos. Let's run it down. Cota crashed while leading, still came back like a demon a week later. Jerez crashed again but clawed back to 12th. Even his bad days now come with points. Le Mans, 2 long laps, bike swap in the wet, still finished second behind Zarco. That's unheard of. That's witchcraft. And you think he's slowing down? Nah, he's just reloading. The Thanos effect. You don't beat Marquez anymore. You survive him. 4 turns. That's all he needs. Slip once, miss one breaking point. Leave a door open. He ghosts you. That's not racing. That's execution. Dovi said it best. Now, perhaps he's a little less capable of absurd things. But with his experience, it's more than enough. Dovi ain't hyping him up. He's sounding the alarm. He's telling the rest of the grid, stop dreaming. This season's already over. You can train harder. You can pray to every god you know. It won't matter. You've got a smarter, deadlier Marquez with the best bike in the world. He's got nothing left to prove, just blood to spill. And now, Dovizioso's final warning? With all ease and points on his back, he will just win every race rest this year. Read that again. Let it marinate. The guy who fought Marquez tooth and nail, who beat him in straight-up dogfights, is telling you it's finished. The rest of the season? Just formalities. This ain't hype. This is a funeral procession. Marc Marquez isn't racing anymore. He's conquering, he's humiliating, and he's not even celebrating when he wins. Why? Because it's normal now, like brushing teeth or breathing. He's not trying to be the GOAT. He's making sure nobody ever gets close. Rossi, Stoner, Lorenzo, they've got statues. Marc's building an empire. At the end of this bloodbath, you'll look at the numbers and say, wow, what a season. But the real story? You'll find it in the silence of the paddock, in the defeated eyes of men who know there's no way out, in the engineers praying for rain, chaos, divine intervention, anything to stop this monster. But nothing's coming, because the one-man apocalypse wears red now, and Dovi's final message to the rest of the grid? I pray God to save the rest. You should too. Marc Marquez 2025 isn't just dominating, he's erasing hope. This is no championship. This is a public execution.